Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Scumdogs Kennel. I'm your host, Chris Williams, and tonight we're going to be looking at secret tunnels and mystery booms. People have reported all over the planet hearing, drilling going on, or reporting drilling going on by their governments underground, or mystery sounds in the sky. Horns and other such things.
Drilling going on, or reporting drilling.
Gigantic booms or horns blaring. You get gigantic booms so loud that they hear them for miles. We'll be talking about those kinds of stories tonight, folks. But first, while we wait for people to gather in the chat, let me go off and show off artwork for my own upcoming graphic novel, Scumdogs. Here is my extreme 90s cover for my graphic novel. This is one of 3 different variant covers that you'll be able to back when my graphic novel goes live on Indiegogo. Now, this, as I say, is the extreme 90s cover. I made it to basically harken back to the comic books of the 90s. Not too bad, huh? Now, folks, Scumdogs is a parody comic book. It's a parody of the cartoons from the 80s and 90s and any other time I wish. The Scumdogs themselves are basically parodies of villains from 80s cartoons who want to rule the universe. You know, those classic Saturday morning villains and villains who wanted to rule everything and had overblown, arrogant personalities and always ended every episode screaming about how they'll get the good guys again and stuff like that. Yeah. Now, they're parodies of those kinds of characters. You see, in the future, there used to be something known as the Scumdog Sports, because in the future, because of transhumanism, due to genetic engineering and cybernetics technology, in the future, people can transform themselves into immortals and basically turn their bodies into anything they wish. And because of this, in the future, there is a sporting events known as the Scumdog Sports. Sporting events held with superhuman athletes as the competitors. See, they're called scum and dogs because through magic and science, they transform themselves into superhuman monsters to compete for money. Yeah, they transform themselves into monsters to be rich and famous. So they're called scum dogs for it. They're led by Death Mug. He's the purple guy with the metal mask over here. He's based on various villains from 80s cartoons. He looks like them in the way he's designed. Like again, the way he looks. Like Skeletor, he's got a skull for a face, but if you notice his face is also a metal mask, much like Cobra Commander, the leader of Cobra from G.I. Joe. Death Mug is an arrogant, overblown dictator who wants to rule everything. He used to be rich and famous as a pro athlete, but when he get banned from sports, him and their scumdogs, they decided to take over the universe because they were already mostly villains anyway. But after he got banned, he became a supervillain. Now he's fighting his arch enemy, Buick Starpoon over here, the guy with the pink pompadour hair. Buick Starpoon and his team, the Wild Rangers, are part of the Space Forces, and they were assigned to fight the Scumdogs and stop them from taking over everything. Buick Starpoon is an arrogant, overblown military nut job. He's one of those military nuts who always thinks they're right, always never listens to anyone, and because of that, he gets him and his team up over their heads in trouble when they fight the Scumdogs and stuff like that. He's a parody of various heroes who you used to watch on Saturday morning cartoons and TV and comic books. He's a sort of a combination of characters like from G.I. Joe, Star Trek, and Star Wars, like Duke from G.I. Joe and Captain Kirk and stuff like that. You get the idea. If you notice his uniform, it looks like something from Star Trek anyway, and because of that, anyone on this cover with a similar uniform to Buick Starpoon is part of his team, the Wild Rangers. All right. Now let's look at them. Now over here we have this guy with the mohawk and the darker blue uniform. Now, because the Wild Rangers are G.I. Joe parodies, that means they each have a military specialty. Because if you know anything about G.I. Joes, military specialties are their special skills and abilities they use to fight Cobra. And my Wild Rangers also have military specialties. This guy with the mohawk, as I said, is Roadhog, and his military specialty is that he's a soldier. He used to be part of the United States Army, then he joined up with the Wild Rangers. Then you have this bald guy with a gun down here in the lighter blue uniform. His name is Beach Pounder. His military specialty is that he's a Marine, just another Marine. Then you have this guy back here in the red uniform driving that vehicle. His name is Blast Tank. His military specialty is that he's a heavy vehicle specialist, otherwise known as a tanker. He drives around heavy vehicles that have weapons on them. Now, this cover is one of 3 different variant covers, as I said. You can back it when it goes live, when Scum Dogs goes live on Indiegogo. Here we have Girl Friday. She's another member of the Wild Rangers. Girl Friday, is a parody on the Girl Friday archetype kind of character. If you don't know where a Girl Friday character is, it's usually a female soldier that's in love with their superior officer. The joke here is that Girl Friday hates Buick Starpoon because he is her superior officer. She was assigned to the Wild Rangers because while the Wild Rangers fight the Scum Dogs and save the universe, while they do that every day, they're also complete morons who can't, basically their idea of saving everything is blowing everything up. And because they were destroying everything, her superiors in the Space Forces, her bosses assigned her, Girl Friday, to basically be Buick Starpoon's second in command and babysit him. She's there to basically make sure they do their jobs right and don't destroy everything in sight. Here we have Deathmug's henchmen, because in all 80s cartoons, the main villain of the cartoon would have underlings and henchmen who would do his bidding, and they'd usually be complete morons. These are Deathmug's morons, or my morons. The big fat pink guy down here with shape-shifting powers is Sloppy, and the blue guy with the top hat up here is Murdermouth. These guys are basically a parody of Bebop and Rocksteady from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They try to follow Deathmug's orders, but they usually end up screwing up and making everything worse. And here we have Hair Metal Doctor. He's Deathmug's mad scientist. As you see, he's a regular human, or looks like a regular human. He's a parody of a character from G.I. Joe known as Dr. Mindbender, a mad scientist. But my mad scientist has been crossed over with a hair metal. My mad scientist has been crossed over with a hair metal musician, because that's awesome. He thinks of all the machines the Scum Dogs use to try and take over the universe. And here we have Miss Breasty Melons, who's another parody character. She's also a Scum Dog. Now, Miss Breasty Melons here is a parody of a character from G.I. Joe known as the Baroness. The Baroness was one of those sexy female spy type characters, femme fatale. Now, the joke here is Miss Breasty Melons is basically a dumb blonde from California, so she's more or less an idiot. She used to be a CEO and owner of her own company, but she got bored of just being rich and famous, so she joined up with the Scum Dogs to be a villain and stuff like that. All right, you get an idea of what my characters are, and you saw some artwork, so go back my Indiegogo when it's finally finished. I work on my book every day, folks, and when it's done, go back it. You'll enjoy it. All right. Now we'll go over here and look at some Indiegogos real quick, okay? Let's go down here and find, let me go down here. I know it's right here. All right. Just a little more. Thin Blue Line, Mike Byrne's new book, which has made $23,005. It's got 13 days left. I plan to back this book. It looks great. You can back Thin Blue Line for $10 if you want the digital version, but you can get a print version for $25. I recommend getting that. It looks like I want that. It's 56 full-color pages, proudly printed in the USA. Let's look at this trailer now.
Beginning with issue number 1, Mike Baron wrote Marvel's The Punisher for over 5 years, approaching it as a straight crime comic, without any superheroes, aliens, or robots. Over the course of 60 issues, Baron elevated the gritty anti-hero into one of the most popular and enduring characters in the Marvel Comics universe. Now he brings that same ultra-realistic intensity to his latest graphic novel, Thin Blue Line. In the middle of a long, hot summer, a police shooting ignites the city. Activists, opportunists, and provocateurs descend to riot, loot, burn, and kill. Thin Blue Line follows Officer Valeria Baca and her partner as their detail guarding the mayor turns into a battle for survival. Ride along on this harrowing tale of two brave law enforcement officers fighting for their community and their own survival in a world gone mad. Eisner winner Mike Baron has created an alarming tale that unflinchingly examines human fallibility on every level. Along with penciler Joe Arnold, himself a full-time police officer, and talented anchor Jeff Slemons, they've created a moving and entertaining story ripped straight from today's headlines. Thin Blue Line exposes the defund the police movement and its consequences for society, but several comic book companies have refused to publish it. Now we're asking you to join the effort to distribute it independently and help support the men and women of law enforcement. Get your copy of the only graphic novel to offer an unflinching and not always flattering look at the men and women of law enforcement during a time when we need them the most. Not all heroes wear capes.
All right, that was Thin Blue Line, folks. You can back it on Indiegogo. It looks pretty good. Tonight, we're going to be looking at mystery tunnels and secret tunnels and mystery booms. People have been reporting hearing, mysterious horn-like sounds in the sky or big booming noises, as well as possible drilling sounds from underground, and think it could be done due to fracking, or perhaps the governments are drilling holes into the ground and making tunnels so they can basically move around people and things underground without anyone knowing. But basically, it's had a lot of effects with people hearing booming sounds and seeing hearing weird things. We'll be looking at those kinds of stories tonight, folks. So, South Dakota, California hit by wave of mystery booms. We'll take this article. This is an older article, but we'll be looking at this first, folks. Over the last 2 weeks, residents in South Dakota and California experienced strange mystery booms that shook homes, jiggled windows, and definitely rattled a few nerves. Feel free to leave me a few chats, by the way, folks, because I love to hear your ideas on this stuff. At 2:00 p.m. on November 7th, the residents of Black Hills area in South Dakota heard a large boom that shook their windows and vibrated their houses. The very same sound was heard as far as Nebraska and Montana, according to Lane Plaster, a rancher in Alzada, Montana. A rancher, huh? Okay. The beginning of it was intense, but then faded with a dull rumbling like a jet was flying by. The sound probably lasted about 8 to 10 seconds. According to the Black Hills Pioneer, no seismic activity or meteorological events were reported. No industrial companies took responsibility for the sound. Earlier this week at 2:30 p.m. on November 15th, residents of San Jose experienced what felt like a minor earthquake with reports of a strange boom. However, no earthquake occurred. Susan here, a spokeswoman with the U.S. Geological Survey, stated, Our duty seismologists did an extensive search and we did not see any seismic activity in South Bay. So it's not an earthquake, whatever they're feeling, as far as we can tell. Residents reported that the wine glasses clinked and dishes in cupboards rattled as the strange shaking lasted roughly 5 or 6 seconds. There's a lot of earthquakes going on around currently and stuff like that, but this is an older article. You might look into the earthquakes going on right now, because maybe that does something. I could look into the earthquakes going on in the West Coast, folks, if that does have any bearing to what's going on now. Let's get back to this article. The Santa Cruz Police Department received calls. That is if those earthquakes do have anything to do with this, folks. Let's get back to this. Santa Cruz Police Department received calls concerning a loud boom sound that occurred at approximately the same time as the unknown earthquake. The military has stated that it wasn't a sonic boom from an aircraft, and local drilling companies are stating that they are not responsible for the event. Speculation of the sources of these mystery booms range from natural seismic activity to secret military supersonic aircraft to paranormal phenomenon, and even the second coming of Jesus Christ. The big question is whether these booms have one causal link, or are these separate phenomena that have multiple sources, which simply manifested in a coincidental large boom sound. And in a March 2016 article, Micah Hanks provides some potential Albert speculative links between ghost lights and the mystery boom phenomenon. In another article from July 2015, he writes about a wave of mystery booms in New Zealand that took place over several nights. Hank points out that these booms are not new phenomena, and that even famed explorers Lewis and Clark reported hearing unexplainable artillery in 1805 as they trekked across America. If these are natural atmospheric or geological events, then they will eventually be studied and understood. However, with any unknown, the mind does begin to wander, similar to the UFO phenomenon. Is our world dealing with something paranormal? Perhaps booms are heard from Bigfoot manifests from his alternate dimension. Are these sound waves of old battles manifesting from beyond the veil? Are we hearing faster than light vehicles entering our atmosphere? Speculation is always more fun, isn't it? Much like New Zealand in 2015, the American Midwest and West Coast have experienced similar boom events in the span of a week. Will more mystery booms be heard in the coming days, or is this simply a case of Mother Nature experiencing coincidence? Who knows? Okay, I thought that would basically give you an idea. Mystery booms have been heard, as well as mystery sounds that sound like the horns, like mystery horns in the air as well. They all think it might have something to do with atmosphere or perhaps underground drilling. That maybe these sounds are the government drilling gigantic tunnels underground for their own use. In fact, Elon Musk's one of his various companies he runs is indeed a tunnel company, and he is basically known for making tunnels. Says, does he have something to do with this? We do not know, but it's interesting to speculate on, isn't it? New Zealand becomes the latest wave of mystery booms. Mystery boom reports may have done drone connection, researchers says. Maybe it's a sonic boom, perhaps. We could look at that. Yeah, I wonder. But either way, it is interesting. Let me go over here to tunnel drilling. All right, or maybe I should say secret tunnels. I think I should go over here like that. U.S. government is seeking underground urban tunnels for urgent secret tests. There could be, folks. I prefer to look at this article here because it could give us an idea of what is going on with the secret tunnels, and if these are indeed responsible for the mystery booms people keep hearing, because of gigantic, basically with them drilling tunnels down there. They're either using drilling machines or possibly as well dynamite to help build these tunnels. It could be that is what people are hearing. The mystery horn sounds could basically be the drilling machines. Maybe these things work so fast it sounds like a blaring horn noise being made in the atmosphere. We do not know. If you see the words U.S. military, secret urban tunnels, underground experimentation, and urgent need in the same sentence, they can't be good news. If you see them in a tweet that links it to an actual government website soliciting actual requests for proposals to satisfy those needs, it may be time to worry if they emphasize that they need them right away. Is it time to book the next flight to New Zealand or Mars? DARPA, attention city dwellers. We're interested in identifying university-owned or commercially managed underground urban tunnels and facilities able to host research and experimentation. It's a certain notice. We're asking for responses by August 30th at 5 p.m. This article is from 2020, by the way. 2019, actually. So, okay, that's strange. Yeah, that is very strange. Let's get back to this article. That's the Take Us to Your Tunnels tweet posted on August 28th, 2019, just 2 days before they're urgently needed by the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA, agency of the U.S. Department of Defense responsible for the development of emerging technologies for use by the military. The link takes you to fedbizops.gov, the Federal Business Opportunities website where private contractors can learn about open government projects. Well, it seems hard to believe that DARPA would be so public with its urgent needs Perhaps that's part of the plan. Make part of the project public so no one gets suspicious too late for that. All right. DARPA, the ideal space would be DARPA. The ideal space would be a human-made underground environment spanning several city blocks, complex layout, and multiple stories, including atriums, tunnels, and stairwells. Spaces that are currently closed off and pedestrians or can be temporarily used for testing are of interest. Testing what? The comments of the tweets give plenty of ideas, from the ridiculous to the downright scary. They also point out that there are plenty of vast unused or unfinished tunnels and spaces around the country that were once planned for subways, cars, pedestrians, shopping malls, and other innocent but underfunded purposes that had to be closed down before they could be completed and opened. All right. So what do you think of that, folks? Got a little more article here to go. But yeah, do you think there are underground tunnels? Do you think the government's doing secret experimentation? Do you think they're alien bases? Perhaps maybe they're trying to tunnel into the lost cities of the ultra-terrestrials, like they say that there are, breakaway civilizations underground. Maybe we're trying to tunnel into their homes or something. It's interesting to talk about and wonder. Do you think we're at war with creatures that aren't human? I don't know. Because they do say that the military is doing something underground. But then again, if you think about the sheer number of people that would have to be involved, and then after they get out of it, are they basically having their memories erased, or why aren't they talking about it? What are they doing down there and stuff? Is it that secret? Or are they basically preparing for some sort of disaster, like a meteor striking the Earth, or maybe the environment changing? So they want to make tunnels for people to live down there, or perhaps go into the inner Earth. Let's see. The subterranean domain, whether human-made tunnels, urban underground infrastructure, or natural cave networks, is becoming increasingly relevant for global security and disaster-related search for and rescue missions. As such, DARPA is interested in understanding the state of the art in innovative technologies that have the potential to disruptively and positively impact how the underground domain is leveraged without prohibitive cost and risk to human lives. DARPA is interested in understanding the state of the art, innovative technologies that may enable future solutions to rapidly map, navigate, and search unknown complex subterranean environments to locate objects of interest. To support those technologies, DARPA is looking to find locations that researchers can utilize to experiment and enhance their innovative approaches. The short explanatory document doesn't really explain much. While it claims that projects have a noble cause, training for global security and disaster-related search and rescue missions, it also wants to learn how to rapidly map, navigate, and search unknown complex subterranean environments to locate objects of interest. Whose tunnels are they planning to find, and what objects are they interested in? Have they found the secret underground location of the Ark of the Covenant, the hiding place of the long-rumored not-to-be-dead Elvis? A time machine, Putin's mini nukes, anybody's nukes? All of this sounds sinister, yet also sounds like a moneymaker for a cash-strapped city struck with an unfinished public works tunnel and looking for ways to pay for filling potholes. Are you listening, Cincinnati? Is the money worth the risk of DARPA collapsing the city into a massive sinkhole for testing purposes? Sorry, DARPA, only people are innocent until proven guilty, and that's getting a little shaky these days. The secret government agencies that develop futuristic technologies are always under suspicion. Interesting little article there. I said I wanted to look at secret tunnels and stuff like that. Well, we didn't like that. So that is interesting to think about these sort of things. We also have more mystery booming. Yeah. Mystery booming sounds, mystery booms and stuff like that. We have a few more articles on them. So let me go over here. Mystery booms return in Illinois and Arizona. Mystery booms return worldwide. This is other article and stuff like that. But you get the idea. People have been hearing booms all over the world. In fact, I myself have heard. Well, I think maybe one time while I was walking outside, I definitely heard mysterious, loud, not just mystery booms, a loud, blaring noise. I couldn't explain. It was roaring and blaring. It was like a horn noise. It was woo or ooh. It was just basically shaking the air. I guess that could possibly been maybe the government tunneling underground and stuff. That could very well have been what it was. It was very interesting to think about. But I heard this. I think I've explained here, talking about this before. Hearing this gigantic, basically blaring, huge noise. It could have been thunder, but there wasn't really any clouds or rain in the sky. Maybe a few times I've heard this, but it was like large, basically, not booms exactly, but it was like ooh, a gigantic noise like that. What do you think about that, folks? I would love to hear your chats on it. In fact, let me go over here and see if we've had any likes. Feel free to leave me a few chats, folks. It's very good to hear about such things. But as I said, one time when I was walking, I myself heard a mystery sound I could not explain. It sounded like the horns of heaven blaring. That's what, honestly, a lot of people have said they've heard. Or whether mystery booms, gigantic mystery noises. So maybe I should also look for mystery horns. Mystery of the Singing Sands. Let's see. All right. Maybe I should put sky horns. Sky horns. Let's see if that brings something on this like that. Strange noises in the sky heard in Argentina, Slovakia, and U.S. and Brazil. Let's see about this. I probably read this before, but you get the idea, folks. One of the consequences of what is fast becoming a worldwide shutdown of businesses and travel is that noise level outdoors have reduced drastically to the point where many people are enjoying the quiet. The lack of clatter and shatter is always allowing people to hear more things than that may not have heard before, and therefore may not have worried about before. Like the mystery sounds, horns, and hums reported in many places around the world. That seems to be the case. I also have this article here, Weird Florida. Unexplained booming sounds. Yeah, there's that as well. Like this. Maybe I'll read this before I read the other article. Down in Florida. Over the past 50 years, Floridians have periodically heard unexplained booming sounds. These acoustical mysteries have occurred in both the atmosphere and underground in the 1950s. Booming sounds were frequently heard in the Ocala National Forest, but most of those were attributed to the military's military. Yeah, these booming noises and horn noises have been heard for decades. But is it possibly the government doing it? We don't know. Let's get back to this. To the military's Ocala bombing range. However, in more recent times, the same kind of sounds have been heard over a wider area without any apparent connection to military activities. People describe the sounds like a supersonic aircraft makes when it breaks the sound barrier. Windows would rattle and the ground would shake, which caused some people to say it was coming from underground. On January 25th and 26th, 1994, several sonic booms were heard across central Florida, with reports coming from Lettsburg, Ocala, Gainesville, Donellan, and as far east as DeLand. Seismographs at the University of Florida that are capable of detecting vibrations far away as China showed no record of the acoustical phenomenon when contacted by the authorities. Local military installations at Tampa and Jacksonville said the sounds were not made by military aircraft. Likewise, the Federal Aviation Authority, FAA, could offer no explanations for the bizarre booms. A few people claim to have heard a quiet double boom similar to what Central Floridians experience when the space shuttle breaks into the atmosphere just before landing. However, there were no shuttles flying during this period. A meteorologist a meteorologist speaking on the evening news. A meteorologist speaking on the evening news theorized that the noise could have originated from a place other than Florida, like an acoustical mirage caused by the inversion of air, but made audible over Florida. For lack of any other explanation, the theory sounded good on the evening news. Albert, the average person could find it rather difficult to understand. There are references to strange booming sounds worldwide, some going back to the 1800s. The famous Brazil guns of, the 1800s. The famed Brazil guns of India is one example that has been heard periodically or periodically for a century. The Brazil booms sound like cannons and are only heard during heavy rains in the Ganges Delta. In the United States, there is a similar phenomenon in New York called the Lake Guns of Seneca. All of these cases continue to baffle scientists. Residents along Florida's west coast have on occasion reported hearing cannon-like detonations on clear mornings when the air is thin. One boater sailing 20 miles off Cedar Key in 1996 said he heard sounds like distant cannons on the Gulf of Mexico. He recounted having heard the sounds just before sunrise and that they were repeated several times in 5-minute intervals. Strangely, the booms seemed to come from no specific direction. The sea was calm with only a slight breeze and no clouds. In this case, the experts speculated that the noise came from natural gas eruptions beneath the sea. In February 1969, people on Jacksonville Beach reported hearing strange rattling sounds coming from 2 overhead clouds. A woman described the sound in a newspaper article as like constant crumbling of cellophane. There were no abnormal weather conditions in this case, no storms or any other possible case for the rattling clouds. Just 1 week later, the same unexplained phenomenon was experienced by Miami Beach residents. In November 1985, unexplained booms were heard off Kennedy Space Center following a space shuttle launch. The mysterious sounds had nothing to do with the launch of NASA clammed up about it, but researchers later found that the same thing had happened following the 2 previous launches. One physicist theorized that the sound could have been caused by the Soviets testing a secret electromagnetic weapons grid system, which allegedly focused on the space shuttle in order to make technical adjustments in a worldwide EM grid network. The theory sounded great, or at least intriguing, but for the average non-physicist, it was downright difficult to comprehend. Therefore, no elaboration will be offered here. Suffice to say, it was another explanation to consider. On March 7th, 1996, sonic boom shook windows at Flagler Marion, Volusia, Burford, Orange, and Sonoma counties. Lesser vibrations were felt as far south as West Palm Beach and as far north as Alcura County. The facilities at Kennedy Space Center experienced this noise too, but NASA claimed it had nothing to do with the shuttle operations. Some people thought it was an earthquake, but the seismograph station in Gainesville registered no earth tremors. Once again, all the suspect agencies and military were contacted, but all denied having anything to do with it and could offer no explanations. Interesting. One remote possibility, according to a geologist, was that the sound may have been caused by the collapse of subterranean aquifer underground. Aquifers hold our drinking water and are huge. If a good-sized chunk of ceiling fell inside an aquifer, it would no doubt create a jolt underground. The only problem with this theory is that geological instruments had not picked up any activity. Manatee Country was hit with an unexplained thunderous boom in June 2003 that rattled windows and shook the ground. The only cannibal explosion in the area was an electrical transformer that exploded in St. Petersburg, but it was ruled out as the cause. Pensacola had experienced 3 similar booms January 2003, which some tried to blame on military testing in the Gulf of Mexico, but the authorities denied that it had anything to do with the military. Many explanations have been offered for Florida's weird booming sounds. The experts have had no problem in explaining what did not cause the sounds, but cannot say what did cause them. So the booming remains another Florida mystery. Felt the earth move under your feet? I'm sure you heard about the strange booms that were heard in Central Florida. We heard them in Pine Hills too, and I thought it was a shuttle coming in, but it wasn't. Everyone was talking about it being a small earthquake, but it wasn't. We were outside, and what I heard was two back-to-back loud, muffled booms. With each one, you could definitely feel the ground shake. Does anyone know what it caused this? Patty K. This from this woman. Here's another one. Sound came from all around. A long time ago, when we lived outside of Fort White, Florida, there was a loud sound that sounded like an artillery gun. This was a rural area, and everybody was pretty much aware of things and knew that nobody was dynamiting anything. We were puzzled by the sound, but what was more odd is that nobody could agree on which direction the sound came from. Some said it was in the air, others said it was from the ground, some said it was east or west or north. It was like it was all around. I think it was in 1962 or 3. But the recent booms that were heard in braver country reminded me of what we heard. I bet it was the same thing that caused it. This comes from another woman, huh? Okay, it was interesting to think about, huh, folks? Strange booming noises. We also have this one on mystery horn. Strange noises in the sky heard in Argentina, Slovakia, and the U.S. These weird noises continue to be heard, folks. Is it possible underground tunneling? Is that what are making these noises, or are we hearing the horns of heaven? All right, let's get into this article. One of the consequences of what is fast becoming a worldwide shutdown of businesses and travel is that the noise level outdoors has been reduced drastically to the point where many people are enjoying the quiet. The lack of clutter and shatter is also allowed people to hear more things, but that they may not have heard before, and therefore may not have worried about before, like the mysterious sounds, horns, and hums reported in many places around the world. This seems to be the case in Brazil, Slovakia, the U.S., Argentina, where concerned citizens are uploading recordings of sharing their experiences, getting advice, and often scaring the pants off of others. Are these sounds related? What are they? At 2:15 p.m., I heard a crash similar to that of a jet crossing the sky or that of an airplane turbine. I heard it twice, and there was nothing in the sky. I didn't see any planes, despite being cloudy. I commented to a friend who lives in another location, and he said he heard it too. The website Otimbo in Brazil reports numerous accounts of people hearing a variety of unexplained sounds across the country, including the one above them. Belo Horizonte Belo Horizonte in the state of Minas Gerais in southeastern Brazil. It noted that the noise in the sky was trending. As I said, I'm sorry if I mispronounced those names, folks. Was trending, let's get back to this article, was trending on Twitter, but the civil defense website in Belo Horizonte had no mention of the sounds. Local astronomer Benito Radio said that there were no reports of meteorites in this area. On April 3rd, 2020, very scary news came from the city of Bratislava, the capital of Slovakia. Usually there are always a lot of questions with these horn sounds, since the videos are isolated incidences, but in this case, the whole city heard it all. At about the same time, the website Soul Ask reported on trumpet sounds in Bratislava. In this case, there are multiple YouTube videos of the sounds, which are more like respirators than trumpets. According to one witness, listened to one hearer, with respirators in the news so much lately that could just be the power of suggestion, but they do not sound like Darth Vader breathing. than Miles Davis blowing. One scientific explanation was the shifting of tectonic plates rubbing against the lost microcontinent of Greater Ardea underneath Europe, though there were no reports of earthquakes or other seismic disturbances. This is something unheard of. I have never heard of anything like this. It is beyond my capabilities. Moving to Alvervia in the province of Baroness of Banos Aries, Burros Aries. Solas also reports of a strange, unexplained sounds of various types, some of which disturbed local dogs. Listen here. Researcher Mariko Garali had no explanation during to the astronomers or meteorologists that left it open for sites like humanoids in Olivia to point to what else humanoids. Should we listen to this sound here, folks? Maybe. Let's listen to this sound. Let me move forward.
Concretamente fue un bólido, claro. Lo que pasa es que si no has estos objetos, ¿cuándo todo esto?
Okay, I don't hear any noises. Let's disturb local dogs. Listen here. Researcher says Maruga had no explanation. Yeah. Don't hear any noise, folks. Didn't basically say that. I think I got a different video than what I was looking for, huh? Great. Just perfect. Sorry about that, folks. If you're wondering what we're doing tonight, folks, we're looking at, secret tunnels and mystery booms. People have heard mystery sounds all over the earth. Is it tunnel? And people think it might be blamed on tunneling underground or a weird atmospheric phenomenon phenomenon and stuff like that, which could be caused by maybe aliens, extraterrestrials, or maybe ultra-terrestrials, or other such things. We don't know. People have been hearing these noises all over the planet. That's if you've just came in, folks. So feel free to sit back and enjoy yourselves, and basically leave me a few chats asking me what you think of all of this. Let's get back to this article. We are witnessing the Great Migration. They are the humanoids, have infiltrated us for decades, but now they are approaching en masse. The sounds registered in the city of Olivia corresponds to the opening of a portal in which it allows that these beings can invade us in a more crowded way. Meanwhile, in the U.S., strange sounds were recorded in Belton, Missouri. Listen here. In South Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Listen here. All right, let's try listening to this now.
Okay.
Maybe I should just maybe I should do this or so. I don't want to get a copyright strike, so maybe I'll just do this.
So we keep hearing this, but
Let me go to where the sound is.
wait, did you see that flash? Wait. I see a flash. I don't know if you guys can. Oh wait. I don't even know. It's over there now.
I was hoping for mystery sounds. I see a bunch of lights, but I came here for the sounds and stuff like that. Let's try that again, folks. Let's try that other. Let's try here. Let's see if I can't get this to come up.
February 27th, 2020. They're planes.
Let me speed along here and stuff.
44 seconds. Over again. Who's gonna close this video? Plane or something flying over the city. 30, maybe. Well, I'm gonna hold on to this video and let it go one more time. That's twice already. My
like 5 or 6 times before this.
All right, maybe I should just move on, folks, because I'm not getting anything I really want to hear. I was hoping for mystery sounds, and I just got this guy talking. Sorry about that. It's funny, folks, isn't it? All right, trying to find those weird booming noises, or basically the sky horns and stuff like that. Now, we heard on the last video, we did hear something strange. We heard that popping noise, so like that. It started big, gigantic poppy noises, so you got an idea of what that is. If you could listen past those people talking and stuff. Mostly talking about the lights and stuff, and that's fine. There were weird-looking lights in the sky, but there was this popping, blaring horn noise. At least what I felt about it and stuff like that. Was it booming? I thought it was definitely a booming sound, but I thought they also sounded, but there was a blaring noise as well. It's interesting to talk about here, but maybe we should hurry on with it, keep up with this article and stuff like that. Feel free to leave me a few chats. I want to talk with you guys about this. Do you think this is possibly due these booming noises and loud horn sounds these are caused through drilling, like secret tunnels, and that's what they hear? Because after all, one of the articles we read did hear that they couldn't really, people did not know where this sound was coming from, like it was coming from all over them. Thought it was coming from underground or from the sky. Could it be it was the government drilling tunnels underground and was making this loud blaring horn noise as well as booming sounds, and that was basically being heard everywhere from underground? It could be, folks. It could be. Yeah, but we don't know. Let's get back to this article. And probably heard of plenty of other places. Well, meanwhile, in the U.S., strange sounds were recorded in Belton, Missouri. Listen here, Belton, Missouri, in South Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and probably heard in plenty of other places. Some blame those on the latest villain of the moment, 5G, but there's no evidence that 5G towers are making any kind of noises at all. Is it just the sound of construction carrying across the now quiet landscape? Well, the now quiet atmosphere and stuff like that? Those are just some of the latest sounds. The website Strange Sounds has more. Is there some sort of logical or scientific explanation for this? A wide variety of strange sounds around the world. Airplanes, gunshots, plates scrapping, construction factories. Is it just because of the noise level is down due to the coronavirus lockdowns, causing stir-crazy locked-up humans who are going outside for a change to hear things? This happened before coronavirus, when I heard my own blaring horn noises in the sky. This happened years ago, but it is very strange. Let's get back to this article. For a change to hear things they've never been able to before, there doesn't seem to be a general cause, and there are far too many to investigate, each one individually, so they're being ignored or dumped into when we get around to it piles, never to be checked out. In the meantime, the general public wants answers, or they'll continue to turn to cover-ups, aliens, apocalyptic predictions, and the like. Will we ever find out? Go outside and listen to yourself. Maybe you'll be the one to finally figure it out. Let's look at Strange Sounds as more. All right, Strange Sounds. Latest sounds from the sky in March 2020, and some are really creepy, huh? Latest videos. Is this it? I thought there'd be more than this. It's 2020. Weird noises from the sky. Sounds heard from April 2020 and stuff like that. Let's see if we can't get anything up here, huh?
Stream live TV from 85 plus channels and save up to $500 a year with YouTube.
Okay, guys, so we keep hearing this really strange.
Is this it? It's the same video we just looked at. I guess not. Maybe I guess I have to look on for some other things. I'm trying to find these weird noises after all. But I still don't have anything like that. Maybe go over here. Mysterious noise midnight, March 24th. Okay, let's try this one.
There's summoning devils over there.
I'm shaking now.
It's so strange.
Very Are they
creepy.
even allowed to do that?
I don't know. It's almost midnight. I don't know what.
gonna be out there freaking 3 a.m.?
What is it? Like, what is it even? Can you make out anything they're saying?
What the heck? Look, it's all red. If you look through that fence, it's all red.
They're saying the same thing over and over again.
Who goes to those things?
I don't know.
I'm shaking it now.
You don't know where it's coming from.
You have to
Obviously
get-
down there. The Yeti is over there, so I'm assuming it's the Yeti.
Okay, we heard that. That's the noise. I heard that noise under them talking and stuff. So, what do you think that was, folks? It doesn't definitely sound like people singing. When you heard that noise, if you were basically hearing them and not basically hearing anything else, it's very strange. That's another weird noise people have been hearing. Is that possible from people tunneling underground, or do you think that people were actually singing out in the sky out during the night? We definitely heard that. Definitely weird to think about. Leave me a few chats. I want to hear your ideas on this weird phenomenon. Secret tunnels and booming and mystery booms. Could it be? Maybe I should put mystery blaring and horns, but you get the idea. People have heard mystery sounds, and they think it could be all over the planet. They think it could possibly be due to secret tunnels made by the government or other people. But they have also heard noises, loud blaring horn noises. People are basically loud singing noises like we heard here, and basically with it being basically going up and down. So what are they? What could they possibly be? What could they possibly be? I find it very interesting. Let's listen to this one now. Looks like this video got taken down. Another one that got taken down. Too bad. But you get the idea. It's all very weird and very strange to think about and to talk about. I don't want to get copyright strikes, so I figured I would basically just show you the sounds and like that. It's unlikely that I get a copyright strike on basically just showing videos of these sounds and stuff like that. These aren't actually famous people and talking and stuff like that. This is ordinary people who basically put up these horn noises or basically blaring weird noises that they've heard in the sky up on YouTube and stuff. So, but it is interesting to talk about and to think about. So, what are these mystery sounds? Is it the government? Is it any manner of odd creatures? Is it aliens, ultra-terrestrials? What are they? What could they possibly be? Either way, I'd love to hear your ideas on what you would talk about this, folks. It's because it's very interesting. Could try to finding a few more of those sounds. Let's see. Is this a video we haven't tried before?
If you want to eat healthy and feel your best,
that's a commercial. Have to wait for it to end. Yeah. Hear that? You're not missing anything in the video here, folks. It's mostly just that this happens at night. Very weird. Here's the video. Maybe I'll just show that as well, what I can of it. See, you're not missing anything. I don't know what that is, but it's very, very creepy, isn't it, folks? What the heck was it with that, huh? You get the idea. It's very weird. People have been hearing these weird noises all over the planet. And that does have some booming in it. At least a bit. It's like it stopped and started like a booming noise. Okay, not really a booming noise, but it seemed to stop and go for a bit while keeping just a pace on it. Others sound like people were singing and stuff like that, as you heard. But it's all very interesting and very strange to think about. So what are these things? What could they possibly be? I have ideas, but most of it has to do with supernatural stuff or the government or supernatural stuff. Oh, wow. Very weird. Very strange. Maybe I should try, well, we're telling you, well, what do you think about this, folks? I have no idea what they are. What could they be? What are they? Could they be due to machinery or some other stuff? Could it be something that someone is doing? I don't know. Ugh. But it's a lot of fun to talk about and stuff like that. But we're coming. Is very a lot of fun. I'd love to have a few chats on your ideas of what this could be. But we're coming to the end. Well, I love that like that. I love to hear from you guys. But please go and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Read comics, they're bad for you, okay? The there and the title is misspelled. It's T-H-E-R-E. It's Read Comics. The there is spelled T-H-E-R-E. Bad for you. Make sure you're still subscribed. If you want to watch this stream again, use past live streams on my YouTube channel because, well, YouTube buries my videos, or use the link on the pinned tweet. Use the link on the pinned tweet on my Twitter page, which is at 777megachris1. That's at 777megachris1. Leave some comments down below. Hit that like button for me because it helps me fight the algorithm, as well as hit that notification bell and hit the part of the notification bell that will give you all future notifications. And please share this video out, as well as please go over and subscribe to, well, Stitched Together Picks. Stitched Together Picks is a YouTube channel that's great. It's hosted by the Maniacal Cinephile, and he basically reviews movies. His reviews are great. His character has multiple personalities. Well, has multiple personality disorder. So you're not just getting one character, you're getting a whole lot of them, and they are fun. Go and subscribe to Stitched Together Picks, as well as go over and subscribe to Robot Co-op. Robot Co-op is a great YouTube channel. You're going to love their live streams. They do video game live streams with these puppets. They play these characters that are fun, and it's basically a party when they're playing video games. So sit back and enjoy watching them. It's just great. Go and subscribe to Robot Co-op, as well as please go over and subscribe to Creepy Little Book. Creepy Little Book is like the Art Bell radio show. He does small videos. They're about high strangeness. But he also does live streams on weekdays where he talks about aliens and ghosts. You'll learn so much from watching Creepy Little Book's streams and stuff like that. So go and subscribe to Creepy Little Book. Remember, folks, I'll be back again tomorrow around 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock p.m. or maybe 8, 9, or 10 o'clock p.m. for another live stream. I'm Chris Williams from the Scumdog's Kennel. Thank you all for joining.